So yet another national lockdown and indeed an extended furlough. Check out this video as I go through all the details of how it could affect you as an employer, business owner, and indeed an employee. Hi everyone, my name is Simon Misiewicz from Optimise Accountants, and I'm here to talk about the extended furlough scheme that you might have seen. The furlough scheme has been extended from November all the way through that month, and again will be reviewed in December. Clearly, we are going through a national lockdown, which gives its own pressures for business owners and employees. It is therefore really important that you understand what this really means to you on either side. Now, I have written an article about this. Link should be appearing above my head right now, and there is a link also in the description. So feel free to read upon the details there. And you would have seen me talk about the job retention scheme. Again, the link above my head and below this video, just in case you want to see that video about the June and whether you applied or not. Obviously, there's been an extension, and we're going to go through the details here. And I gave another intro, like a demo of how you can make a job retention furlough scheme grant application. A bit long-winded that, but do watch that video because there is a step-by-step guide of how you get this grant funding as a business owner, employer, to help those employees. And I also provided something called a job support scheme, which was meant to be introduced on the 1st of November, so the time of this video. Clearly, with the UK national lockdown, there has been a postponement, and I'm going to go through that in a short while. As I said in previous videos, this is a communication that now needs to be had between you as the employer, you as an employee, and make sure that you get HR specialists, whether that's HR consultants, employment lawyers, or indeed ACAS, that will be able to help you understand all of these changes, what your rights are as an employer, but indeed your rights as an employee to make sure that your employer doesn't do anything that they shouldn't be doing. I'm going to be releasing a video talking about fraud cases in regards to the job retention scheme. So people being laid off, not paid any money, but their employers then still get the money from the government, which I think is downright awful. Now, if you are wondering how to build your wealth, even through the pandemic that we see ourselves in, then I have created an online portal. You can ask me questions on Wednesdays, and in fact, this Wednesday, I will be talking about COVID-19, the financial crisis, what you can do as an employer and employee. I will be doing a live Q&A this Wednesday, so why not learn this week of how you as a business employer can benefit really from these grants that's been given out, and indeed of how you build your wealth despite the pandemic. There is actually the free trial that I'm showing here is 7 days, but I've extended that to 28 days because of the COVID-19. So feel free to take me up on that extended free trial. So let's talk about the furlough scheme and then the job support scheme. Now, furlough, as you may appreciate, should have finished on the 31st of October. And then the phasing over to the job support scheme kicks in. Well, that clearly cannot happen because of the UK national lockdown. So what's happened now, which is on the bottom part, I'm just going to use my laser pointer for this. So what should have happened was the period should have ended. Interestingly enough, there is an end to the furlough scheme as you know it, because that particular furlough scheme was for the 70% contribution for employees' pay. Now what's happening, there is an extension to furlough, which is going to go through November 2020. And then we will be moving over to the job support scheme, which will start in December. Now, I'll say that there is a difference. There is one ending, which is that 31st of October, and that's because it's got less of a financial impact and benefit to you as an employer and to you as an employee. So there is an extension, but it's really a new scheme, and I want to go through the reasons why with you. So the furlough scheme that's been extended will start from the 1st of November 2020, the release date of this video, and indeed the release date of the article I've just written out. Yes, it is Sunday. I wanted to get this out as quickly as possible so that you are made aware of it so you can make your plans on the Monday. Now, the 30th of November is the end of the month, so that's the key date, and then eligibility is staff cannot be working. So if you are going to be putting people on furlough, don't expect them to stay at home and work and then you still claim. That isn't the point. The furlough scheme is really for you as an employer to say to your staff member, well, for health reasons, we need you to be at home, stay safe. The business cannot function in its current guise. Therefore, we need to put you on furlough. You need to be a UK business with UK-based employees, and the particular employee must be on the payroll, and you must have submitted a October payroll submission for that employee. Now, the financials, employers are not expected to pay everything, but there is still contributions that need to be made. The first contribution is national insurance. You still have to go through the entire payroll function of paying that employee, and therefore you will have employers' national insurance as well as have to take out some sort of employee deduction as well. Any bonus or commissions that is not contractually obliged, well, actually, even if it is contractually obliged, you still need to pay those bonuses and commissions. The government are only paying the contractual wage. So any commissions and bonuses needs to be paid by the employer continuously. The government will pay the lower, and please do note, the lower of 80% of those wages, or £2,500. Now, there is a £1,000 job retention bonus as well if you keep your staff member on. I will talk about that shortly. Now, if you want to book a tax consultation with us to understand this particular issue, then feel free to do so. Equally, if you are a property investor and you want to talk about your services, your accountancy needs and tax needs, then you can book a call to discuss our services, both of which are below this video, and I'll also be inserting links just above my head right now. If you're booking a tax consultation to talk about this particular subject, make sure that you use the code YouTube25 to get your 25% discount. Okay, I want to go through an example now. This is for, again, the extended furlough scheme. This is for an employee that is normally paid £30,000. Now, what I want you to note is that there is a cap of 80% or £2,500, which is the low of the two. Okay, so what I've done is done annual salary across the top, and what that means in terms of pro rata per month. If you want to look at it from both angles, I've done that for you. Now, this does mean on an annualized basis that the employee would be paid £24,000, unpaid would be £6,000. Per month, they would see £2,500, and although there is this £2,500, we need to first work out the 80%. So 80% of that 2,500 is £2,000, which does mean that the employee will have £500 unpaid wages in their bank account. The government will provide that £2,000 support. The employer does not need to do that. Only the national insurance and, in fact, one thing I forgot to mention was pension contributions. You'll notice here that the employee will be unpaid this 20% amount. Now, if you are paid over and above £30,000, it does get a bit worse for you. You, as an employee or an employee of yours, would normally receive £40,000 in this second example. The pro rata per month is £3,333, and there is a cap now, so the government will pay the lower of 80% or £2,500. So on an annualized basis, that's equivalent to £30,000. In this case, the cap now kicks in at £2,500, which does mean that the unpaid level is now £10,000, and on a monthly basis, that would be £833 unpaid, which is equivalent now to 25% that will be unpaid to that employee. Now, to finalize, there is a bonus, an incentive from the government for you as an employer, business owner, to retain your staff members. So here, the eligibility to get this £1,000 job retention bonus means that you must keep on your staff. Even if you place them on furlough, that's okay, but you cannot sack them. You cannot make them redundant by any means. So you must keep them on place. You must keep them all the way through the 31st of January 2021. The bonus isn't £1,000 one-off. Actually, you get £1,000 one-off bonus for keeping that employee on, which is paid to £1,000 per employee. Now, the time frames for that is that you can make an application on the 15th of February 2021 and ends the 31st of March 2021. So it's a very, very fine margin of time for you to make that application. And finally, something else that I did talk about before, but I think it's worth mentioning, is this extra support grant that you can get. This is particularly useful if you have premises that you work from, whether that's shop, office, or warehouse. And the grant that you get is business premises, and it's for rateable value, and you get this kind of tax rate there in terms of grant support. Now, if you've got a rateable value of £15,000 or less, you will get extra government support, or local authority support, I should say, of £1,334 per month. And that will cover your rent, your utilities, etc., and your business rates. If you've got rateable value between £15,000 and £51,000, that grant will be increased to £2,000 per month. And indeed, you've got this rateable value above £51,000, you've got big premises, then you will get a grant support of £3,000 per month. Please do note that these are grants and therefore they are taxable income that you'll be getting. That brings me to a close. So please do put in your comments. Are you an employer that is going through this process? Are you getting the right support from HR specialists? And indeed, are you able to easily calculate what you need to be paying to your staff members? And indeed, how you can make those claims back? Are you an employee that's really not sure what your rights are? And indeed, are you suspicious that your employer is making these grants money received, but not paying you? I'll be really fascinated to hear your own personal stories. So please do comment below this video. Don't forget to like this video if it's been proven useful for you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you are notified every single time that I release a video. Until next time, my name is Simon Misiewicz from Optimise Accountants. I shall see you again soon.